Hi everyone, welcome to this session of Alpha e-learning to make learning simple, interesting and more exciting. Today let's discuss about tangent secant segment theorem, an important theorem of circle chapter for the students of standard 10th. But before switching on to this theorem, let's get into some basic concepts related to circle. Tangent. The word tangent is derived from the Latin word tangere, which means to touch. Hence, tangent is a line which touches the circle at a single point. The point at which the tangent touches the circle is called point of tangency or the point of contact. The radius drawn at the point of contact is perpendicular to the tangent at that point. Secant. The word secant is extracted from the Latin word secere, which means to cut. Hence, secant is a line which intersects the circle at two distinct points. Chord. The segment joining any 2 points on the circle is called chord. The chord divides the circumference of the circle into 2 parts. The smaller part is called the minor arc and the larger arc is called the major arc. If the chord is the diameter of the circle, then it divides the circumference into 2 semicircular arcs. Segment. The region of the circle bounded by the chord and the corresponding arc is called segment of the circle. The segment of the circle may be classified as minor segment and the major segment. The region of the circle bounded by the chord and the corresponding minor arc is called minor segment, whereas the region of the circle bounded by the chord and the corresponding major arc is called the major segment. Now we shall visualize this. This line is the tangent to the circle which touches the circle at a single point, and this point is called point of tangency or point of contact. The radius at the point of contact is perpendicular to the tangent. This line which intersects the circle at 2 distinct points is called the secant, and the segment joining these 2 distinct points is called the chord. This region of the circle is called the minor segment because it is the region bounded by the chord and the corresponding minor arc, and this portion is the major segment as this is the region bounded by the chord and the corresponding major arc. We shall discuss an important property relating to circle which will be utilized to prove the theorem, and the property is angles in alternate segment. The statement tells the angles formed between the tangent and the chord drawn from the point of contact are equal to the angles subtended by the same chord in the corresponding alternate segments. So we shall visualize this statement. Now here this becomes a tangent. This is point C and this is point D touching the circle at point B. A chord is drawn from the point of contact. So this point is A and this point is B. So this is chord AB drawn from the point of contact B. The angles formed between the chord and the tangent at the point of contact is angle ABC and angle ABD, and this chord AB divides the circular region into two segments. Now the pink color shaded part shows minor segment, the green color shaded part shows the major segment. So here angle ABC is the angle formed in the major segment. So this angle should be equal to the angle subtended by the same chord AB in the minor segment. So angle ABC is congruent to angle APB. This point here, vertex is taken as P. So we shall check this. Now this shows angle APB. APB, it exactly coincides. So this angle should be congruent to angle ABC. So here it is angle ABC. So angle APB is congruent to angle ABC. Now in case I change the position of the vertex in the minor segment, so we get it like this. Now here I have changed the position of the vertex in the minor segment. So this angle APB is congruent to angle ABC. We may check. So here angle APB is exactly congruent to angle ABC. Now let's check the second pair of angle. Angle ABD is the angle formed in the minor segment. This angle should be congruent to angle subtended by the same chord in the major segment. So that means angle ABD is congruent to angle AQB. So let's check. So this is angle AQB. It coincides exactly with the arms. This angle should be congruent to angle ABD. So here angle AQB is congruent to angle ABD. So just look at the board. Line CD is tangent. This is line CD is tangent at vertex B. So B becomes the point of contact and segment BA is the chord drawn from the point of contact B. Therefore, angle ABC is congruent to angle APB and angle ABD is congruent to angle AQB. Next we shall discuss about tangent secant segment theorem. It states that if a secant and a tangent is drawn to the circle from a common external point, then the square of length of the tangent segment is equal to product of the whole secant segment and external secant segment. So we shall visualize this statement. Here this becomes external point P. The red color strip shows tangent PT touching the circle at point T. The blue color strip shows the secant intersecting the circle at point A and point B. Now to prove the square of length of the tangent segment. So square of the tangent segment is PT, so we get PT square, product of the whole secant segment. So whole secant segment is PB and external part of the secant segment, that is PA. So what is to be proved is PT square equal to PB into PA. The next is construction. Draw segment TA, that becomes the chord, and segment TB. So we shall look at the board. line PT is tangent at T from external point P, and line PAB is the secant intersecting the circle at points A and B. To prove PT square equal to PB into PA, and construction, draw segment TA and segment TB. Now we shall prove this theorem. So for the proof, PT is the tangent at T and segment TA is the chord drawn from the point of contact T. So the angle formed between the tangent and the chord is angle PTA. Now this angle is formed in the minor segment. So angle PTA should be congruent to the angle formed in the major segment by the same chord TA. So angle PTA is congruent to angle ABT. So we shall check this. Yeah, this one coincides exactly. Angle PTA. Now this angle PTA should be congruent to angle ABT. So if I rotate this and place it here, this is angle PTA congruent to angle ABT. So these two angles are congruent. Now we shall prove these two triangles similar. So you have to decide which two triangles should be considered out of the three triangles. So here what is to be proved is PT square. Now PT becomes the side of triangle PTA as well as side of triangle PBT, and then you should get PB and PA. Now PB is the side of triangle PBT, that is the bigger triangle, and PA is the side of the smaller triangle, that is triangle PTA. So we will consider those two triangles, that is triangle PTA and triangle PBT. We have to prove these two triangles similar, hence we have to find two pairs of corresponding angles congruent. So one of the pair is already found out, that is using angles in alternate segment. The second pair is the common angle, that is angle TPA of the smaller triangle is congruent to angle BPT of the larger triangle. Those two angles are common angles. So just look at the board. Point number 2 under proof. In triangle PTA and triangle PBT, angle PTA is congruent to angle PBT, that is from equation number 1. The second pair of corresponding angles which is congruent is angle TPA congruent to angle BPT, that is common angle. Therefore triangle PTA is similar to triangle PBT using AA criteria, and then the corresponding sides PT upon PB, that is first two letters here PT, and for the other triangle the corresponding side is PB. So PT upon PB equal to PA upon PT, that is first and third vertex PA upon PT. So the reason is corresponding sides of similar triangles, or you may write corresponding parts of similar triangles, and then cross multiplying PT into PT equal to PB into PA. So PT into PT is PT square equal to PA into PB. Hence proved. Why go anywhere else? So do rejoin us in our next session with much more interesting and important contents. Keep watching, and thank you for watching.